Okay, just washed my hands. And finishing up the video, actually, there's one thing that I wanted to include because it was pretty actually relevant. Uh, Kind of tangential from the last video, but still, very simply put. Okay, so there was the threat. Um, making helping people, making helping people and doing the right thing seems scary. Um, and then that related to um, Billie Eilish standing up for the environment in the song, making one song about global warming. Mm. Since my campaign involves morality, involves encouraging others to behave morally and or to be moral and to do the right thing. And I mean, it kind of ties. Well, let's see here. Threatened that they were going to kill Billie Eilish as an example of what happens when you are political um, stand up regarding like climate change, global warming. Um, God damn it! Oh God, that makes me that makes me so angry. Hmm. Well, that makes sense. Also, by the way, specifically, I was hypnotized to like keep all my items in a bat in my backpack. When I had to go somewhere, um, leave the house and everything along those lines. And to feel uncomfortable leaving all the evidence at my house. Um, just so that I would have some of it fall out of my backpack because this is the thing is I specifically brought a couple water bottles with me, and I put one of the water bottles in my backpack, which overfilled my backpack, causing my backpack to open up, and have those tiny little notebooks fall out of my backpack. Makes me so angry. So like I mean, even then, like just losing the evidence in itself is going to make things a lot worse. Seriously, and uh, I mean that's what they get for it. Um, saying that they were going to kill Billie Eilish as an example of what happens when you try to be political and do the right thing, just like how um uh the Mexican cartel posted a video of someone having their head cut off with a chainsaw on the internet as an example of what happens when you snitch. Of what happens when someone snitches on them. Oh. They threatened that they were going to make a video chainsawing her head off as an example of what happens when you become political. So that it would be much more difficult for anyone to take me seriously. God damn it. Um, when I would talk about when I would encourage others to do the right thing because of what happened to her. When I would when I would encourage others that morality and doing the right thing will actually would encourage others that morality and doing the right thing. That it would be much more difficult for anyone to take me seriously when I would encourage others that morality and doing the right thing is a good thing because of what happened to Billie Eilish. Okay, anyways, so that took too long. Let's see, okay. The first thing I noticed in the letters actually the first thing I noticed in the letters was that it looked like his hand was cramping while writing, because of similar alterations. That's the word. in his handwriting that happened to me while writing the word murder in a witness statement. Damn. That's what I'm going to be famous for, is my hand cramping writing the word murder. And so also basically excluding words. Let me see, I want to actually finish this too. Really hit the head. An inability to form logical sentences by combining the individual sentence fragments, I am able to articulate. Since I am only able to write portions of sentences write and articulate. Portions of sentences at one time. I'm going to add this into the introduction. Since I am only able to write and articulate portions of sentences at one time. I am forced to rewrite the sentences several times in order to properly articulate a sentence. The hypnotic writing impairment would stink face. I mentioned that. The hypnotic writing impairment would typically require me to rewrite sentences between, I want to say, like 4 to 12 times on average. With excessive pauses and breaks in between. Caused by memory repression in between. By hypnotic memory repression. And then I excluded the word excessive, apparently, with excessive pauses and breaks. Caused by hypnotic memory repression. And this would take resulting in a singular sentence requiring a single sentence requiring requiring between 30 minutes to an hour and a half on average. To write and articulate on average. Okay. There was something else I wanted to include. Oh, that's right. The hypnotic writing impairment would also involve slowing down the rate I'm able to write. Approximately 5 to 10 fold. By the way, if you notice the tension in my facial expression, that is all completely the hypnosis. It's even metaphorically explained with various metaphors. And one of the videos, it's the hypnosis and sleep deprivation, where I discuss the stink face and how I was called a stink-faced snitch. And then forced to smell an essential oil in the emergency room too. Five to 10 times slower than normal. Okay, also hypnotized to feel back pain. On the right side of my back. Feel back pain and tension, mostly on the right side of my back. Mostly on the right side of my back. Because as a method of distracting my conscious attention away from the speed of my pencil strokes so that I wouldn't notice how much the hypnosis was inhibiting my ability to write. The back pain was on the right side of my back. Back pain and tension. Was on the right side of my back because I'm right. Because I write with my right hand. Okay. In fact, I want to rewrite. I have to rewrite this, so let's go ahead and do that because this will just be nice to include in an introduction. I can also post it on Facebook. Pattern of writing impairment. One. a complete inability to properly articulate a complete sentence adequately the first time. Articulate and write. Two, a complete inability to form complete sentences while writing, and typically only being capable of writing, of articulating sentence fragments comprising of 3 to 5 words at one time while writing. Three, no, not yet. Okay. Whatever. Oh, that's right. That's right. The hypnosis would would enable me to write would it enable me to articulate an additional sentence fragment, would it and would only enable me to write the next sentence fragment after writing the first sentence fragment. Allow me to articulate the next sentence fragment The hypnosis would only allow me to articulate the next sentence fragment after writing the previous sentence fragment, or so that I would be forced to write before being able to articulate a complete sentence. I would be forced to articulate so that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. So that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. Next. My test feel angry because I'm resisting the postmortem suggestion, but I'm writing about it right now, so it looks really bad. After writing the previous sentence fragment, so that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. So that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. Then, before I would be able to articulate the next sentence fragment, I would have to write that first sentence fragment. So that I would only be able to articulate a portion. That's why I have to keep writing on. Because the minute it tries to feel confusion, the more I try to force myself to be able to articulate a complete sentence. That's not normal. I graduated high school a year early, started college a year early. Without even trying, I started giving people therapy when I was 15 years old, and I started running therapy groups when I was 16 years old. Just because I was really good at it, on accident, and like I achieved over a 3.0 GPA in high school and college without even trying, with no difficulty reaching deadlines or articulating complete sentences. This is not normal. This is sick. So that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. What's the next portion of the sentence? So that I will only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. Then I would have to write the next 3 to 5 words. And before I would be able to articulate any more of the sentence, I would have to write it down. And then, because I'm going to articulate that last portion too. because this is the example where I have it, you know, right there on camera. So that I will only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. Then and before I would be able to articulate the remaining sentence portions or fragments, I would have to write down the previous sentence fragments. Then I would have to write down what I already articulated. And this was done so that I mean, you can see it, you know, like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is abuse. Let me finish the sentence. Let me finish the sentence. Articulate the next sentence fragment after writing the previous sentence fragment so that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. And be forced to write down and be forced to only be able to write down 3 to 5 words in a sentence at one time in order to force me to rewrite the sentence. Because I wouldn't be able to because the sentence portions didn't Okay, I'm going to end this with a period. And I'm going to erase a little bit. The next video is going to start, so please make sure to at least watch the next few minutes of that next video. And I will be uploading all these videos tonight. Come on, right. This was done. So that I would only be able to articulate 3 to 5 words at one time. And be forced to write down each sentence fragment I articulated. By the way, I was also hypnotized to think that fragment meant I would blow up. Portion. Well, I mean, I guess I was hypnotized to think of starving African children and feeding them. Lovely thoughts. Be forced to write each sentence fragment. Before being able to determine if I articulated the sentence adequately. And be forced to write each sentence fragment.